Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today we're going to be taking a look at the eShop sales across the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. As always, this one, it's any price goes, so if you're looking for, the cheaper side of the eShop, maybe check out our Thursday edition where we keep everything sub $10 or, of course, your local currency. Then we do, as always, have two winners to announce for two $10 eShop gift cards. We'll be doing that though as we go through the video today. Want to enter this week for your chance to win one of the two codes because we do this every single week. All you need to do, drop a comment down below and we'll announce the winners in next week's video. So with that, look, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family and let's get started. Okay, so let's kick things off for you this week, horror fans. First up, Infliction Extended Cut with its first ever sale, and it's a solid 33% off. I was sent a copy of this one at release, and it's one I never got round to reviewing, but I gotta say, once I did get round to it, I really just enjoyed it. Starting as you arrive at your home, things seem, relatively normal. But quickly, it all kind of spirals out of control and you're essentially investigating a once happy home while there's an entity on your tail. It's a heavy story focused one, this one, with the occasional moment of action like stealth. Stealth, I'll say now, not perfect, but it does a great job with the overall atmosphere. I was nearly constantly on edge, and the second the entity came into action, I was half kind of playing, half attempting to hide behind my Pro controller. The visuals though, solid enough, if a little rough around the edges at times, but you know what, at this price point you can do a lot worse, and fans of games like Layers of Fear should be particularly impressed. Check it out if you want a night of horror ahead of you. Only issue for some with this one, probably a little on the short side, I will add that in now quickly. It's clocking in at around the 3 to 4 hour mark. So a new all-time low price now, Dusk Diver with 30% off. Here we get a fantasy story set around the idea that a dimensional rift has brought together gods, phantoms and humans. Playing as a high school girl though, you'll essentially find yourself recruited by the gods as a weapon of sorts, and you'll be basically fighting alongside these guardians. Gameplay is essentially this: explore this town in Taipei, find dimensional rifts and then jump into dungeons. I reviewed it, I thought it was slightly above average but with its faults. There's a lot of good stuff though, but my main issue is the town is at times beautiful and vibrant, but it also felt a little on the lifeless side. And then the dungeons, they kind of get rid of all the colour and they're a little bit too grey and repetitive in style. That said though, like a solid combat system and decent enough story do make up for it. It seems though now it's reaching an almost like cult status, and I think this is more than a fair price for any anime or 3D almost like hack and slash adventure fans. The Complex now coming in with 20% off, not a huge discount, but I was really impressed with this FMV game. While gameplay is light, basically, make the occasional decision, it's a fun storyline with some seriously impressive shots. I would recommend this one to sci-fi fans, and for me, the production quality, it's falling somewhere around like a Doctor Who level for anyone out there that watches it. I've run through it a couple of times though now, once solo, once in a group, and it's a lot of fun to experiment with answers and just see how it impacts, the overall outcome. This comes though from Wales Interactive. They are quickly making a name for themselves in the genre, and this was their most recent attempt. Here though, just expect to be locked down in this lab with air running out, and you're trying to work out the mystery behind a bioweapon attack on London, with 8 different endings, relationship tracking, personality tracking, and then even some unlockables. It makes it well worth the price of entry, and you can see my review over on the channel. So cheap and cheerful now, Sydney Hunter and the Curse of the MAYAN with a huge 80% off. This is for you retro fans out there that just like some good old platformer action. Trapped inside a Mayan pyramid, it's simple enough in story, you've got to basically work out a way out. With some fun enemies though, a decent selection of bosses, and then the gameplay absolutely solid. This is one I picked up back on release and I don't regret the cash I put in. Just know it's retro through and through, so it's probably going to be best for you out there that enjoy, an 8-bit experience, because it is definitely going to kick your ass more than a few times. I think this one well worth the price, and as always with these tiny price games, I'd say check your goal points first if you are considering it, because you may just have enough to make it free, which is, well, even better. Okay, let's throw a UK, EU, Australia exclusive deal in here now, and this game is KLAUS, and I'm pretty confident this will follow suit in the US and Canada probably within the next few days, mainly because it's the first discount we've ever seen on this particular title. KLAUS is a puzzle platforming game which definitely crafts its own identity from the huge amount out there, just down to its more than unusual storyline. While I don't want to give anything away here, basically you awake with amnesia and you've got to figure out who you are. During this journey though, you'll come across a guy by the name of K1, who is huge and can basically just like Hulk smash his way through this world. That's kind of the hook here though, you'll be controlling both characters over 6 worlds, 34 levels, 100 plus rooms, 3 bosses, and there's even 2 endings. Honestly, really like this game, but I will say it starts a little bit on the slow side, but once it kind of embraces the weird, the kind of, you know, out there, it will hook you. And as first time sales go, 25% off is more than decent. Jump on this one though quick if you do want it, it is expiring within the next couple of days. So before we do drop our first winner of the week, then today we have 2 major publisher sales happening right now. Bandai Namco here in the US and Canada, and then NIS America in the UK, EU and Australia. What I'm going to do is pick my favourite 3 from each. For Bandai Namco, this was easy. I already mentioned Dragon Ball FighterZ in Thursdays if you're wondering where that is. But my first one, Mr. Driller DRILLLAND with 25% off. Kind of got screwed here in the US on this one as it's already super cheap elsewhere, but we finally see a drop and it's kind of closing that gap. Can't vouch for it personally, it's actually my pickup of the week, but reviews are solid and it's basically for you action puzzle fans out there. If you do want to try it before you buy it though, check out the demo first like I did. Then we get God Eater Furi with its lowest price ever, offering 67% off. Probably one of my favourite Bandai Namco games on the Switch, and it's basically Monster Hunter meets anime, but incredible. And honestly, personally, I'd probably rate it above Monster Hunter Generations. Like Mr. Driller though, there's a demo available, so start there and see if it's for you. Finally then, the masterpiece that is Ni no Kuni, coming in with a huge 70% off. Easily one of my top picks this week. This RPG is absolutely stunning in nearly every way, from the Studio Ghibli visuals to the touching storyline. At this price, JRPG fans, if you don't own it already, just buy it immediately. It's incredible, and for this price you're getting at least 40 hours of gameplay, if not 100 hours if you go for 100% completion. Genuinely now, Ni no Kuni is that rare 10 out of 10 experience for me, and if you watch this channel enough, you know how tough I can be. Go to the eShop though, search Bandai Namco, and you'll see a ton of other great games on sale right now too. So before we jump into the UK, EU, AU side of things with the mighty NIS America, let's talk about our first winner first for that $10 eShop gift card, and it's going to Big Ass Lizard. One of the more interesting names I've got to read out in a video. Big Ass Lizard though called out Bloodroots and then recommended the mighty City of Brass to just about everyone. And I have to agree, I've spoke about the game more than a few times now, but solid first-person mechanics that are channeling something between like a Prince of Persia vibe and then Indiana Jones, and just overall it's absolutely stunning. If you're curious about its pedigree too, it comes from a number of devs behind BioShock, so yeah, that should just tell you everything you need to know. Drop me an email though, like to claim your code. As always then, we do have a second winner to announce, but that's going to be coming up later in the video, just after a few more games. Alright, so NIS America now hitting the UK, EU, AU hard this week, which is a little more on the rare side as they do seem to discount frequently here in the US. My 3 picks though, first the mighty ESHOP, LACRIMOSA Radana with 50% off, an incredible JRPG where your ship has sank and you've drifted onto a deserted island. This island though, of course, like all sorts of monsters creeping around, so you'll need to round up survivors and then yeah, battle for survival. A lot of grinding with this one, I gotta say, that's for sure, but it's well worth it. And it's not turn-based, but an action combat system, so if you like your RPGs with a dash of almost like hack and slash, this one may be for you. Then the Alliance Alive HD, a port of what I would consider now a 3DS classic. I'd check out reviews first as it's for sure showing its age, but it's a great old school kind of style JRPG that was honestly overpriced on release, but this makes me feel a whole lot more comfortable with its offering of 40% off. Last up then, a hidden gem in my opinion, YOMAWARI The Long Night Collection. This is 2 games in one. You get Night Alone and then Midnight Shadows, and it is very much for horror fans out there. You'll basically be exploring this town that's been plunged into darkness. It's a whole lot of like survival action wrapped up in almost cutesy visuals, but it just nails the atmosphere, so yeah, respect for that. 63% off though makes it another must buy for me. I think it's fair to say with this one though, YOMAWARI, this one just beat expectations from me in nearly every way. Same thing here as Bandai though, look, they've got a lot on sale right now and they really are masters of importing kind of more obscure titles to the West, and maybe check out their other offerings. So it's been a bit of a quieter week on the sale front, honestly, so now our penultimate game of the week before our second winner and of course final game. But this is a first time ever sale for your Kholat, coming in with 25% off. Really enjoyed this one personally, and while like most horror experiences kind of received mixed reactions, I found a lot to like. I think what elevated it was the opening. It's all set around a true event known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. It occurred in 1959 when 9 experienced hikers died on the northern Ural Mountains. An investigation ensued and it was discovered that they had basically torn their way out of the sides of their tents with inadequate gear or clothing. Facing sub-zero temperatures though, hypothermia got to them, but the mystery to this day, it is unsolved. They were actually found with like eyes missing, tongues missing. It's really grisly stuff. This game basically places you after the event and you're trying to push that investigation forward, but the game then kind of goes way in its own direction and throws a ton of paranormal in too, but to great effect. It even has a voiceover from the legend that is Sean Bean that for sure adds, you know, that like air of quality. Solid visuals though being pushed out here on the Switch and a great atmosphere overall. I was impressed, and you can check out my full review over on the channel. So our second winner of the week then, Connor Sweezy, who called out the mighty Catherine Full Body, a masterpiece of a game and a game I personally adore. Incredible story, incredible puzzle mechanics, and yeah, I mean, I've played this thing countless times at this point, it just never gets old. Congrats Connor, drop me an email to claim your code. Everyone else, remember, drop a comment down below for your chance to win one of the 2 codes this week. So our final pick of the week then, and this one's kind of like alongside Ni no Kuni as game of the week for me, but Furi. Spoke about this in my Tuesday series, Hidden Gems. Seems that series is kind of becoming lucky because each week one of the picks seems to drop in the sale. In fact, this week I might just drop the hidden part of the name and throw like Untitled Goose Game out there, because that game desperately needs a sale. Anyways though, look, Furi is a near perfect example of the boss rush style of gameplay. Think Cuphead basically, meaning every fight here is basically a boss fight. Here you walk, you face a boss, you get crushed, you keep pressing retry, you beat them, and then you finally move on. To really complicate matters though, here they take influence from the bullet hell genre. This is all one-on-one battles though, but the visuals incredible as they fall somewhere between like neon and cel shaded. The bosses, they're designed by Takashi Akasaki, the genius behind Afro Samurai, and then the music, it is a compilation, but it's incredible, and it features the mad genius that is Carpenter Brute, who takes synthwave and elevates it to a level few can match. It's kind of like Trent Reznor found synthwave, and that's kind of what the sound is. Buy this immediately though with a new all-time low of 65% off. You will absolutely not regret it. And that is it, another week down. Remember to drop a comment down below to enter this week for a chance to win one of those 2 $10 eShop gift cards. Then of course a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, and it truly is appreciated. If you want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. With that then, like, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.